this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Hello, everyone. How's it going? We're Wednesday, August 30th. Looks like the hurricane Idalia fizzed out. Now for Franklin. Good, by the way, because it happened in the band in Florida, Tallahassee and Gainesville and all that area, Panama City off to the left. So that's an area that never gets storms like that much soaked. And the last time it did happen, it was in 1859. So good for the people of Florida. I know that the storm surge was not done this afternoon, and it went up pretty high in a couple of towns. Anyways, yes, sir. Elias, how are you, brother? Merci, mon frère. Mr. Dwayne White, how's it going? Hey, friends. Thanks a lot, brother. Thanks for stopping in, man. I forgot to write in the description. I put together a 6-minute, 5-minute, 45-second news flash, again, of everything that's going on. You look in space news, they post something and it stays there for maybe 24 hours. Sometimes it stays there for 48 hours, and then it starts going down in the list. And there's lots going on. Lots of private companies that we're hearing more about. These are all things that are really intriguing me. Have you noticed the hush? Actually, it's not a hush. Do you notice the complete abolition? Abolition, is that a word? Of UFO news. Suppressed media, UFO media news on a worldwide scale where absolutely nobody's talking about it, except for yet again putting down David Grush. It's only a matter of time. All these things exist. They wouldn't have brought them up if they didn't exist. We got Neil deGrasse that gives his opinion on secret UFO missions. Like I said, they're all part of the same club and game to hide everything. Riley Egg, thank you very much for coming by, everyone. Connie Baker. Hi, Connie. How are you? Listen, we're in a storm here. Not right now. It's actually beautiful and sunny for that 5-10 minute period yet again. At the same time, Idalia was hitting the coast, the Big bend. While here at the same time, we're getting winds. We saw a beginning of a tornado over the St. Lawrence. I get a chance to see the beginning of funnels, but it's the limit. That's where it stops usually. We have Ottawa, 3 tornadoes this year. Totally suspicious completely, because it's not something that ever happens, especially not 3 times in a row. I don't even know if Ottawa ever had a tornado. We get gusts of winds and cyclones and stuff like that, near hurricane, or well, maybe not hurricane, no, near tornado wind speeds, but it's not always a tornado here. And I'm surrounded by water, so I can see them starting off in the funnels. Hauser, how are you? Good evening, Bruce. Hope you're swell. I am. Thanks a lot. Good timing. Just finished a fret level. Right on. Recrown and polish. Yes, sir. Thanks for coming in, you guys. We have Keith Oliver. Thanks a lot, Keith, for the encouragement, brother. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. Right on. Yanega, hello, Mr. Bruce. Hello to you. Thanks for coming in, y'all. Myro's here. 2033. Thanks for coming back. 2033. It's an important date. Hopefully. Dazzler Moon is here. Hey, guys. Thanks a lot. Tree Mistress, how's it going? Pennsylvania in the house. You guys, too, must have got wind, right? Like, I mean, if I'm getting wind down here in Quebec, well, me, I'm right on the current. You guys, sometimes when you get in the States, even California gets a lot of wind. Well, it pushes down the hot air from the south, and we get like hot temperatures. Speaking of hot temperatures, the long weekend, if you are in Quebec, prepare yourself for summer weather. Very humid. Humidex 40 degrees. So it'll be 30 degrees plus 35, 36 degrees. And with the humidex feeling like 40 degrees, 42 degrees as far as into September. They say that when we get to the end of September here in Quebec, we're going to feel the beginning, halfway through September, we'll feel the beginning of autumn weather. So they say, we'll see. Noticing how everything's everything really is backing up a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, right? Like the summer happens a bit later, winter and the snow happens a bit later now. The shift, it's all happening. Eventually, it really will show, that's for sure. Thanks a lot for being here, you guys. I most certainly hope so. If and if the rain stops. Hopefully the rain's going to stop. Hopefully it won't be cloudy. Hopefully the moon won't be stuck in the south. Supermoon. What's a supermoon? Blue moon. What's a blue moon? Well, this moon is a full moon. This is going to be actually the full blue super moon because, like the expression, once in a blue moon. Well, it just so happens it's not blue, by the way. August has 2 moons, and close to Earth, it's a super moon. So that's why I was really worried with the alignment of the sun, the moon, and Earth. By the way, August 30th, right? Super moon alignment. That's going to cause a lot of magnetism. So I assumed that the hurricane Idalia was really going to hit hard. I'm not saying it didn't. For an area that never gets any hurricanes like that, well, there's like hundreds of trees down. I saw water surge in, where was it? In Perry, I think, in Perry. And the town of Perry, or yeah, it's not a Staples. The town of Perry in Florida, Perry, Florida. I think that is the name of it. There was a storm surge, like it was really high, and it went up really fast. Also, lots of water, and of course, the lower the barometric pressure, well, the stronger the storms, and the stronger the winds, and those winds push in the water at the same time inland, and you can get some really high storm surges. Galveston, long time ago, was one of the worst. And again, Texas, I learned in the recent years by studying a little bit about the topography, especially of Texas. It's flat and it's rock, right? So the water really stays for a long time. I remember last year when the alligators, or crocodile alligators, were coming into town between the houses, ranches, and all that. It was pretty crazy when the waters, wow. A lot of countries are experiencing some pretty crazy weather, but the UFO suppression, it's really actually getting me excited because August, there's only a day left tomorrow in August. And it's my guess, unless anyone's heard anything, I haven't, pretty sure NASA tomorrow is going to pop out a briefing. Why? Well, because they said that they were supposed to have a briefing in August. And NASA says they're going to do a study, 9-month study. And get this, they say it's only going to cost $100,000. Wow. But it's funny when they say that, because this is what's happening right now. Since if the Pentagon, and they are holding back information and they don't want to talk, and we can see the news media. Look at ABC. Look at the bullshit news, leftist news, talking, defending the Pentagon and saying, we're being totally transparent. And, they're also saying that there hasn't been any UFO secret projects done since 1940s or 1950s. Imagine that. They deny everything, Blue Beam, Blue Book, and everything. It's even documented, and they still deny. People, is it that they don't care? No, it's just that we can't really do anything. We're watching them deny, but they're going to have to. So Representative Tim Burchett, as you all know, those of you following with the July 26th briefing, 2023, just went by. We're waiting for many other whistleblowers to speak out. Ross, right? Coulthart at News Nation, not because I want to talk about that news media, but they have exclusivity on whistleblower interviews, lots of whistleblower interviews. Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic 003. I don't know if you've ever heard of his channel. If not, check it out. There'll be a link up this evening in the community. We'll be going on with him September 12th to be talking about the moon and lots to talk about. I haven't gotten the chance to film the moon recently, nor see and film UFOs in the sky because of the weather. And I'm going to fix up a video talking about the surface, some people are saying, Jean-Claude told me this, he was talking to somebody that's saying that the moon is heating up. A certain side of the moon is heating up. I did hear that the moon was heating up by NASA. I don't know if that was because of the sun or because of the Earth's axis. Don't forget, they say that the sun's not even reflecting off the moon onto the moon. It's reflecting onto Earth, and Earth shine reflecting onto the moon. These are things that they tell us, and I'm not a scientist, but even you and me, amateurs, when we look this stuff up, you have no choice but repeating the facts, which is what is considered facts. But questioning those facts and the truth is okay. There's nothing wrong with questioning truth. I question myself sometimes. Nato McNato, thanks again for coming back, y'all. Nice to see and hear you too, my friend. Hope you're having a good blue moon. Well, thanks. Hey, I hope you're all going to wish me luck. And it's perfect timing because when I get off here about 6:45 or 7 o'clock, I will be able to prepare to set up. I still have to wait till 9. I have a 14-inch telescope. I film at 10 o'clock. I go out sometimes and I'm still picking up light from the sun. So hopefully, fingers crossed that tonight I will get a shot of the moon. Go and look at the last moon videos. I got some nice close-ups. It was incredibly clear the other night. Some debris came in the next night after Russia crashed on the moon and India landed. Debris that second night that came in, large debris. Also in a short 5-6 minute news update of UFO and space news, we are going to touch on the subject of debris, both with Astra something, a new company, private company. Like I said, excuse me, we're hearing a lot of about a lot of private companies. It's getting me excited because NASA's asking a lot of even universities to come up with some ideas for some rovers on the moon. What do you think they're going to do? There's a whole bunch of things to explore on the moon, but there's already somebody there, and that's what fascinates me. If aliens come here to Earth and don't want to be seen and they land in Antarctica, we never see them. So is that why we're going to land in the South Pole? Is that why we're not going to return to the sunlit side? There was a NASA administrator, the one before the one now, if I'm not mistaken, something Stein, right? I call him Bridenstine, Frankenstein. He used to say, and he did say, that he wanted to leave the astronauts of Artemis choose one of the older landing sites so that they can go back and to see any changes that occurred. Obviously, I was sure that they were going to try to hit for the Apollo 11 one in Mare Imbrium. Maybe Apollo 17, I had heard they had planted some type of vegetation or potatoes or some type of greenery, right? So how are they observing all these things, right? We're going to take a look also at India's picture of its mothership. You turn around and it looks like a Kinder Surprise toy that they put with a background. Looks totally ridiculous. The moon landing looked ridiculous. Hats off, hands off. Bravo for Apollo 11 to have done a landing that looked more successful than India's landing. That was just like literally ridiculous. All of a sudden, the moon's coming up. Ever notice, guys, when you're looking at the moon, they go 2,000, 1,000 feet, when they're 1,000 feet up, the craters are this big. When they land on the moon, those freaking craters are still that big. They go down to the surface, the craters don't even get closer or bigger. They're small like that, and they land right on the surface of the moon, and you see those tiny craters that are there. So I don't know. I think it's pretty funny. And the way they all of a sudden stuck in the lander's there. Then you had these jets of smoke, seeing it completely like it was the background that was going up, and it's like the lander was just like right in the middle, not moving at all. And the shot of India's mothership, as they call it, Vakran or Varkran or whatever, we'll see it later, is, yes, yet again, perfectly symmetrical on the moon, like level landed, like, so it doesn't seem to be too many problems landing. And in the South Pole, where's the snow? Pretty sure there's snow there if they land in the South Pole. The moon for NASA, poor NASA, is always gray. They don't have any greenery. Even China, in their images, you can see there's dirt on the supposed moon. if that rover really is on the moon and it's not in Nevada or Devon Island, which is here in Canada where they practice. Americans even practice there. The astronauts live there for years to practice like they are on the surface of Mars. It's very close to the surface of Mars. And those are areas that I'd just love to take a trip to and visit. Would be probably extremely interesting. Charlie B, how's it going? Random Ralph, thanks a lot, you guys. Nicole S, thank you. 3 weeks down, Nicole, because of a crash computer. It was a very expensive ordeal. I got this one on credit. We're back with a computer, and yet a couple of weeks I will go back and get the editor. And now I'll have everything. And I went and got a new, where is it? Black box, because I think I'm repeating myself. Other black box, it broke. There's nothing to do with it, guys. Guys like save it 6 times. Even if I save it 6 times, is 5 boxes are going to break at one point. That's what happens. Thanks again, Elias, for being here. Desert Moon in the house. Kelly Connolly, how are you? Sarasota, Charlotte country, awesome. Florida in the house. So listen, I hope there wasn't too much wind in your end. Sarasota was an area where, if I'm not mistaken, was definitely could have gotten some wind. Either way, I hope you're all safe. I'm happy to hear that, and I'm saying I'm happy. There's some damage. I saw that there was some, but I saw that it intensified like really quickly to category 4, and then it de-intensified. Like it jiggled down to a 3, a 2, a 1, and now, but they say it's still dangerous, of course, because the tropical storm can change. And you really see when you watch the passage and the timeline when it's over the water, it's really pronounced. And you got the eye of the storm. You can see when it gets close to the land, the eye gets a little smaller, and yet dangerous, because with a small eye, that means that disc is rotating even faster. We saw it picking up water the last time when it went to Florida. Florida gets pummeled amongst many other states, but Florida, it's crazy, always getting pummeled. And you guys are really on the final line. It's Florida that catches like that hurricane every year I see them going by. Rod R, how's it going, my friend? I thought you might not be up for the live stream. Yes, being up so early this AM. All thanks. Yeah, I was up at 1:30 a.m., guys. Imagine that. Up early, thinking about a whole bunch of stuff. I said, I get up. It was raining, of course. It's funny. An astronomer. I study ufology. I shouldn't like rain, but I actually love the relaxing sound of rain. Except that this one really washed the house, because you could hear it like, you could hear it like smacking off my tin roof. I don't know if you guys know the sound of rain on a tin roof. It's pretty loud. Ever piss in a bucket? I'll leave it at that. Agreed. We've seen no news about UFOs. Absolutely. Since Peru alien attack. Right, you are. The 7 feet alien. Now, we can, some people can laugh or not. I'm not saying I believe it or not. I don't have a decision even. I'm neutral, because I'm just listening to what's going to come out in the news. If there was an invasion, it wouldn't just be once and that it would ride off. Everyone would be involved. Religion would be involved. We would see meetings and gatherings of certain people that don't usually gather. The Bilderberg stuff, they're troublemakers, right? Meetings that the elites have every year. But yeah, they are quiet with the UFO news. NASA, we're waiting for them to disclose. And they say it's going to be completely public, everything that they're going to say. So they sort of just confirm they're not going to say much. But then again, I sound like some of the people sound so negative. I shouldn't say that. You never know. We've already heard more than we've ever heard before. They got caught. Can't say the government didn't get caught. It's worse than that. The government's saying it's somebody they don't know that's doing the secret projects. It could be the government themselves starting those secret branches. Obviously, a lot of you thought of that too. In theory, right? My friend from Astor, Florida, how's it going, my friend? No damage, I hope. Hey, Bruce, I'm glad I got the notice this time. Good to see you today. Same, man. I hope everything's okay. Got through the hurricane with no damage. Good, man. Listen, I got so afraid, and every time I hear you guys in Florida, you guys are badass, brave as friggin' hell. Honestly, with the devastation that happens. I know a lot of people evacuate, but not everybody evacuates. But just the fact of not knowing if your house is going to be okay or not really sucks. With the the instability. Sorry, I'm losing my English. The instability in the states now, and everything that's going on. My friend from Astor, Florida. So yeah, Idalia fizzed out quickly, which was really surprising. Could it be Franklin that was so close by? And I say close. Well, it's close on the map, and maybe not necessarily close by. More on the other side of the coast of Florida towards Bermuda. But I don't know if I was talking this morning with some friends from South Carolina and North Carolina, or not North, sorry, South Carolina. I wonder if they got any wind. Like Franklin right now is still progressing through and into, I don't know when. I saw the timeline. It's going to veer and along the coast. It's actually headed down towards St. John. It's going to go by Quebec too at the same time, and always at a further distance out on the coast, not too far out, but far enough out. And we get a lot of wind. It happens here, and more with the climates changing and not climate change. The climates are changing, whether people believe in climate change or not, whether it be deliberate or not. I think it's a bit of both. A lot of people tell me, Bruce, Earth and the galaxy and the universe have these cycles repetitively over hundreds of years. Yes, 100%. Like I said, it's near impossible to be able to predict exactly what's going on. But if they have weather manipulation machines, what do you think they're using them for, guys? They're not going to pay billions of dollars and go to a country at the other end of the globe to hide their nefarious actions. So one guy that went there had clearance to everything, and he couldn't get certain information on certain things. And he became a whistleblower at that very moment. And that was Bruce, Stephen Greer, who interviewed one of his many, like 5,000, I think, interviews of people, abductions and whatnot. A whole bunch of people he would have interviewed. Again, whether you trust them or not, I just listen to what these people are saying. There's no way that I will, I don't know them enough to get up and, judge them, but I have my own opinions too. You hear Jeremy Corbell say something, you're like, oh, but then again, I'll do something or say something in the video, and some people go, oh, but it's just, we got different opinions. That's the way I look at it. There's someone on the moon. Nobody can say anything against that. And I don't feel I have to prove who it is, but there is someone up there. Darla, how are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for welcoming everyone. Random Ralph. Larry, how's it going? Larry Briette. Greetings, my fellow Moonies. Right on, brother. Nice to see you, man. News getting a little crazy. I'll jump right into the news very soon, guys. Wayne Mansfield, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that. My brother's streaming after this. I think he's talking about Revelations or something like that. Hey, guys, that's one of the only parts of the Bible. Well, no, I've read a lot of parts, but that's always interested me the most because of Nostradamus. That's me, actually. Nostradamus used to talk about predictions and things coming and to happen in the future. Well, when you read Revelations now, if you don't want to read it and you're doing work at home or even cooking, male or female, just play it on YouTube and let it play. I think it's an hour and 20 minutes or an hour and 40 minutes, not even. And they go right through Revelations, and the way you listen to the person, hopefully not an annoying voice, reading everything in Revelations, you can't help but wonder if the Bible's a guidebook. That they're just literally, it's not that things are happening because they were predicted. It's that things are happening because it was written down in the book that this is what was to be done. You got to wonder how Acilia saying Family Guy and Seth and the people that write these cartoons, Simpsons also, they actually came up with, and for me to be talking about it, it's predictions. It's nothing less than that, and too close to the exact thing that happened. Like, for example, dumbass vice president, USA, Madame, with her purple dress, and Simpsons did the same thing. Is it Family Guy or Simpsons? Simpsons, I think. How do they know that? You got to wonder how they know that. And, you hear about the cards and the game, the card deck, New World Order card deck, it's online. I mean, I've known this for years. It's been around for years, where all the cards predict, certain events and things that are going to happen. If because it's a touchy situation, if I'm not mistaken, the World Trade Centers could even, yeah, literally, the World Trade Centers were even on those cards crumbling. So why did Leonardo da Vinci know certain things and hide stuff in his paintings? Well, it's because the elites back then were doing the same things to what the elites were doing just not that long ago to Albert Einstein, to Nikola Tesla, who died in New York with a penny in his pocket, so they say. And his patents were stolen. Whether the stories are true or not, it could very well be. Thomas Edison hired him to fix 50 or something generators, and he said, the minute you fix all of those generators, he goes, I will give you your, I think it was 50,000. I could be wrong about the amount, but to be able to start his business, right? This guy was a genius. He trusted people, I guess. But the elites don't want people. Ian Rose, thank you so much for being here, bro. And thanks all of you. Scotland in the house. Evening Bruce from Scotland. Thanks a lot, man. And thanks for taking the time to be a member. I guess the elites have always been on the cases of people that could change the perception of the world, of the views of the people in the world, the people's perception in the world of the world. Like, for example, me, coming on and saying, well, the moon's inhabited. Well, there's a couple thousands of people that agree with me and that saw my research, but it remains like so. In reality, the elites, when you give into the Satanist rituals and stuff like that, you got to join a club, right? We're hearing the actors talk a lot, many actors in the past and even now, even more. It's still very hush-hush talking about, and don't get me into Scientology, but it's all a cult. And it's all different frontal organizations and cults. Like, for example, the Freemasons lodge can be, there's lots of lodges, blue, red, whatever, can be with Scientology and the Pentagon and, and Congress and the KKK. And you got all these groups and frontal organizations that are raising money. And you got somebody that becomes a Freemason, tries to better him or herself, because there are even women Masons now. But, I don't know, Freemasons, most likely. The lodges didn't want Freemasons to become Freemasons. There's a big story behind Freemasons. People always told me, go get the Masonic Bible, because the Masonic Bible is filled with satanic rituals, and that's silly. It's not true. It's a regular Bible. Probably even the Jerusalem Bible, Deuteronomy, New and Old Testament, just a regular Bible. There's nothing, satanic. But from that association or secret club, sure, there's a back door. You know what I mean? There's a back door, like all bars, and there's a go at the back to smoke your joint out of the bar or whatever. Do your lines in the bathroom and hide. Stupid. That's how it is in bars. Well, it's the same thing in the clubs. Get into a club, then you get deeper into a club. You probably have to invest, probably sign contracts too, so that if something happens, they can defend themselves. Look at Scientology. Whether you believe it or not, Tom Cruise and all that, and Barbarino, that's not their wives, most likely. I'm not sure about Tom Cruise, but and nothing wrong with it, but they're, there's homosexuality in that too. It's all hidden, what's going on with these cults, and they keep them by the balls and the ladies by the necks, by finding out information on them, and they'll threaten them if ever they bring out any information. It's just to raise money, to do such corrupt things. But with the trafficking and stuff, I don't know if it has to do with the UFOs I'm bouncing around here. I think it really does. We had an emotional military, high status, high military, and higher up, that was tears in his eyes and crying, talking about something happening with a UFO that had the oxygen masks inside, and they were taking off to go to a certain place. I mean, this is real stuff. It's real stuff going on. And there's so not necessarily advanced in technology, the government, but they know a lot and they're trying dangerous things. They're playing with energy, the God particle. The God particle is actually the exact wall of the fabric of space and time between the dimensions and the physical world. That sorry, that particle, God particle that they talk about is very little is known about it, and it's very, very dangerous. But their goal is always to increase nuclear warheads and enrich uranium. We've been seeing that. I mean, after Vietnam, and you hear about the old wars, the First World War. So, in other words, it's never been 20 years without a war. Has there ever been 3 years without a war worldwide? Never. There's always some type of war or a civil war going on. They're talking about a third world war before we get into the news there. Third World War is imminent, and it's again some whistleblowers that usually know what's going on that are starting to talk about that. Doesn't look too good. Thanks again, Wayne. Jules of Southern Oregon is in the house. Thank you very much. Sitting stalking my pussy tigger here in Scotland. Hope you're all fine over there in hurricane land. Yeah, listen, they were lucky, Ian. Some of them were lucky. I mean, this could have been totally devastating. And again, I thought it was going to stay on the edge, but this mama was going at first 15 miles an hour, then it was going 17 miles an hour. I remember Fort Myers, the last hurricane, and I say the last one, that could have maybe even been some between that. It stayed over the coastline on the side, just picked up water and just freaking dumped it. Remember in Fort Myers, the water was going up. It was 12, 15 feet, something like that. It was a massive surge. Don't remember what the moon was at. I'm totally surprised. I'm so happy for my Floridian friends, because the moon, the super moon and stuff, the alignment of the sun, the moon and earth, and the sun, again, another prediction, 2-3 days, watch the sunspots. There's not been a coronal mass ejection or solar storm facing Earth since the 29th of July. And that, Aleaus, that's the first time in a year that has been over a month that there's not a coronal mass ejection or solar storm that comes towards Earth. We don't go 1 month. It's been over a year. We don't even go 1 month without having radiation hit Earth. That's why there's a lot of talk about all the auroras that some people, I guess, get the chance to see. I saw it at the end of the 90s, and I never saw it again here. I would love to see it again. And at that time, there was the pollution, radiation from the sun. Susan Ravella, live stream this morning. Good live. Hey, thanks a lot. I'm sorry, I wanted to make it more professional than that. Some pages turned off. I had some live cams opened up. They didn't work in the end. We would have had maybe 15 more minutes. But then it started thundering and lightning here. Hey, only pink lightning, guys. Saw pink lightning flashing left and right. And I said I'm not going to take a chance, so I did have to turn it off. Mr. Stephen A., how are you? Our moon is cartwheeling every single day, 3 sun system. Yep, the shift. If it hasn't already even shifted the sun, the southern pole. So, well, it's simple. My theory, and I'm sure some of you will agree with me, when the temperature's basic, common sense, when the temperatures will change, it would be because of the poles shifting. Like, for example, it started 2 or 3 years ago, a lot, maybe a little more than that before that, but not much, where Russia, at the end of Russia, where, what's the name? My gosh, it's military. I'm losing the name of that Russian town. Bruce, what the hell's wrong with you? Anyways, there was no snow there. It was like 20, 30 degrees. So that means the poles, which literally means that line on the globe that we all look at, the meridian is, it's going over where the hot and heat and the south. That's all going to shift. It's going to change positions. I can't wait for us to get palm trees here in Quebec, but I don't think I'm going to be around to see it. Yes, disco moon for sure. Hoping to get it tonight. It'll be nice because it is very close, but I hope it's not stuck really low, Guys, when's the last time you've seen the moon over your head? Now, listen, it could be yesterday, maybe some of you have been seeing it all week, but here, not a chance. And it was always very, very low in the sky in the south, and it's doing like in Alaska. It's going up, it's going right the top of the house, go to the right and starts going down again. I was so surprised the other day. I was filming between the bloody cedar tops, and that's something. This year, the neighbor's trees grew, 2, 3, feet. And it some of the trees are starting to really get up there. So when the moon's on the horizon, I have even a harder chance of getting it. The bugger has to rise. I won't see it this time because there's a fire up in the nearby canyon, maybe 5, 6 miles from me. Wow. And Nicole S., I hope you're doing well. Stay safe. Bloody fires. We don't want to hear anything about those. I don't even know if the fires here in Quebec are out. Hopefully they are. Canada, it's going to burn right to probably till November. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it burns till December. It reached all the way to the Arctic, by the way, those fires, and all the way to basically Alaska, which is pretty crazy when you think of it. Yeah, Stephen A. That's all we need right now is a flash, right? Or even worse, an explosion. Then there's going to be a lot of asteroids. I'll tell you what, it's going to be an interesting sky to film when that happens. Thanks again, Jules. Right on. Yeah, it's 7:00. Darla, thanks a lot, Darla. You rock. 19, yeah, 1900 hours. And not 17, I think, right? I think it'll be at 7:00. So yeah, 19 o'clock. At 7:00. Oh no, it's written. No, I'm sorry, Darla. Don't change a thing. Bruce just woke up. I was seeing 1700 hours. I was thinking military. Revelation chapter 1 at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Written properly, like Darla wrote it. Perry's where everyone was supposed to be safe. JLR was there. Hey, wow. Isn't that crazy? That's where everyone was supposed to be safe. And well, there was a big surge there. Also a lot of winds too, some damage, obviously. Yes, Adios here too, brother. And this weekend, man, is going to be very hot. They're announcing avec l'humidex 40 degrés, 40-degree weather. It's supposed to be scorching, just like in the summer. Donovan, how are you? Watch out for sharks when they open their front doors. Yeah, listen, literally, that is scary stuff. I think of that, eh? Like in Australia, I told you when I saw those crocs and or alligators, whichever one that were maybe both, that were literally swimming around in murky water where you can't see them, and they were picking up animals and stuff like that. So holy shit, Remember at the beginning of the pandemic and the first catastrophes in Italy, volcano and everything, we had these mountain goats that were coming out of the mountains when there were fires or something, or I think the volcano, and they were jumping and standing on the fences in people's cars. It was raining down ash. Wow, lots of crazy stuff going on. Do you think that they are mean enough and crazy enough to make a world practice? Do you know what I mean by world practice? Also known as red flag event. Did you know that? They create a scenario and they often make a real scenario. For example, it could be buildings that they'll start a fire with, maybe 50 buildings or something, and they'll create a devastating panic where they have to scramble jets, and they'll scramble jets from India, England, Taiwan, everything. They all meet up around the world to do these world scenarios, just like 9/11 when the jets were asked to be scrambled to New York and Washington. Well, they were saying, is this real world or a practice? Because they do practices, obviously. No, real world. Okay, real world. How can this be real world? What's up? And they didn't even know. But give you an idea of how not even that they're unprofessional, it's that there was just nothing prepared if ever there was an attack. When you see that, jets being scrambled at the last minute, like, that's pretty nuts. And, say to yourself, if you're driving in a plane, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what they did. Didn't they shoot it down even with the people in it? There's people in that plane that's going towards the White House. You could be sure they're gonna shoot you down, even, no matter what, they're not gonna be saved. They're gonna be sure that plane goes down before you hit the White House. Even, they're not gonna save you, you know, in a way, they can't really when they're in the air, but, that's, honestly, when you see exactly how primitive we are. You wanna send me some, body parts, UFO parts, poetry, anyways, or just say hello. That's the email and box number, my friends. Ever wondered why look down came right after disclosure? Ever wondered why the lockdown came? Yeah, exactly. I wondered. Hey, Patty. Sorry, my friend. Hey, guys, appreciate that. Thanks for listening in. Always listening. I know, and I appreciate that, my friend. Thanks, Patty. Yeah, I thought it had to do with. I thought everything had to do with the UFOs. Where they're locking down people not to go around. At one point, I thought even imagine if it's an invasion where they're going to start locking people down because they don't want people, no movement or people moving around because they were testing some type of weapon, didn't want to, kill everyone. So they were asking certain people to stay at home. You see that person taking down the cameras in those 5-minute cities? I think it's, well, actually, where is it? Is it Australia? I'm not sure. They're taking down those 5-minute city cameras in Europe, maybe. I don't know. And the guy is telling people how to take them down, the cameras. Imagine living in a 15-minute city where you'll be locked, not even allowed to travel, or you'll need a permission from the government to go visit your mother, who is just 10 streets down, but it just so happens that that's the borderline. Doesn't it remind you like the Berlin Wall, right? Separating two sides, the north and the south side. Doesn't it remind you of North Korea and South Korea, where they separated North Korea and South Korea? Why? No, they don't want people to fend together. That's basically. Yes, they do. Yeah, only 100,000 K US is not a lot. 9 months. Holy crap. That's many thousands of dollars per month. Also, a couple thousands of dollars a week. I don't know what they're going to have to use that for, but really funny. That's the way the cookie crumbles. 100% contained, and most are in map up. Finally, no smoke yesterday and today. Thanks for asking. Right on. Right on, Jules. NASA's having a briefing today about Osiris Rex. Okay, sample return mission. Right on. There's right on, right on. There's going to be the asteroid mission soon in October, if I'm not mistaken, right? Psych. I remember the name. Asteroid Psych. So they say they're going to head out there. They're going to head out there to take a sample of an asteroid again or land on an asteroid. I think, listen, if they're spaceships, I think this is what they're trying to detect, if they're spaceships. Biden shot down some UFOs also, by the way. So number 28, hello, Bruce. Cindy Lou, welcome and thank you very much. Right on, Patty. Appreciate that again, my friend. Yep, I believe that. Stephen A. and I are basically always on the same. Well, we all are. I believe it's self-illuminated. Even the last few videos, you see how I quite simply bring down the exposure, and you see bloody fires. Even though you see it only that big, you can see that it's a massive fusioning fire, and that's what's causing also the smokes on the ground at the same time. Obviously, how's it going, Ed? Don't forget your thumbs up for the channel, people's Crazy Music Space Jam. Thank you very much. That's a channel that came down. My friend Elias helped me set up my incredible music program, guys. It's going to change the way you play music. So it's a must. It's a one-time thing that you buy, and it's not even that it's expensive. It's not. But boy, oh boy, it changes the way. LA in the house. Didn't deliberately miss over you. Sorry about that. Hello, chatters. Scott Lee. Scott, thanks, man, for being here. And as always, for being a member, man. We're going to head over to the news there. What's the time here with everyone talking? 5:15. Well, I'm a little late on the. I can't skip over them. I miss people. Andre Lopez Perez. Saludos. CDMX, right on, my friend. Thank you very much. Ramo in the house also. No, that one's Darla. Ramo, thanks a lot. Awesome. Hey, Rod. Hey, thanks to all of you that do take the time. Head over to my brother's channel. He was really inspired. Says, you got an amazing community, man. A lot of people in your community come by and leave their opinions and listen in. So I think it's pretty cool. I love you guys for it. Again, Scott Lee, thanks a lot, man. And are you in North Carolina? I hope you did not get any wind or not too much wind. You must have gotten some. And yeah, Franklin now, that's supposed to along the coast. Hang tight, all of you, for the wind. And I'm happy that it fizzed out the first one, Hurricane Idalia. But listen, there was some damage there. We saw the winds. The winds were strong. Listen, when you think of, even, I know it was more than that, right? 120 miles an hour while we're talking category 3, 130 miles an hour, we're talking category 4. That's pretty crazy, especially like bring it up in kilometers. Over 200 kilometers an hour, guys, winds. I've not experienced that more than once or twice in my life. And hearing the wind go on the house there is scary as hell. I was in a bus, and that's what I was hearing. The bus was lifting up because it's like, I'm saying I'm in a big bus, I'll be safe. And then I start realizing I was safer in the car than in a big square freaking medical bus with very people with some very heavy handicaps. My first week on the job, driving clients around for the first time after my course in Montreal of driving the buses and the medical bus and everything. And then a legit tornado hits. And when I say it hits, guys, is you're driving, it starts by the rain, right? Then the rain gets intense. So then you pull over, and then your bus starts going like that. Then you start hearing outside. The people in the bus were horrified, including the driver. I'm like, I remain calm. Everyone, there's no danger. There's no danger. I was like, the bus is going to flip. I was worried about glass in people's eyes. I was thinking of all of this. Like, I had never been in a tornado, but I'm thinking of all of this happening. We don't have to be in a tornado to know what's going on, right? We've all seen the videos on YouTube when people are flipping out in their homes, filming their roofs coming off there. It's pretty crazy stuff. But around here, I experienced it once in St. Timothy and by the water again and again in Huntington, which started in St. Lawrence and in St. Anisette as a tropical storm, and then whoops, turned into a tornado over the field, took the whole garage roof and everything in the garage out of it. There was a lot of merchandise and stuff all over the road. So where I was sitting in the bus was going up like this, and as the bus went up like this, you see the roof, and it's one of those like Walmart roofs where it's really long and there's 2-3 doors and businesses in front, and you just saw the roof go like literally like a snake, and then went off, stood up, the big wood smacked down once and then broke off, and then landed in the cemetery on top of some tombstones. And you're sitting there, you don't realize the weight of it or anything, eh? You're sitting in the bus and you go, just lands like a little kite, couldn't go by. The parents were worried. All the parents imagine of their children or parents that have heavy mobility problems and handicaps that, they're worried about them, danger in the bus. The parents all came running to the bus in town, wanted to know where we were. It was a cool job, though. I had communication with the parents. It was a big responsibility because I was stuck. Bruce, get into the news, please. I was stuck with information about even medical information, minimal medical information. I wasn't a doctor, by the way. I had to give, EpiPens with some that had certain allergies. So it was never had to do it, but it's a big risk. It was a hell of a risky job for someone that, dare I say it, that I just took a medical course in Montreal. They didn't teach me how to strap in the people. I learned that in Montreal. I taught my boss, and I didn't have to teach the drivers because I was the only medical bus driver there. And it was fun, but you're driving around with people. You're in a hurry, and you can't drive fast because they're already handicapped, some of them, and some of them were in accidents. It's like, wow. Tony, how's it going, y'all? Great day to you too. Carlos is here. Where is that? Which Carlos is that? Let me see. JT's in the house. Carlos Landazuri, thank you very much for being here. Star Hunter's in the house. How's it going, man? Every time I see you bugger now, I think of that joke that you said the other day. It made me freaking laugh. That was funny. Auric Vibe 1111. Again, thanks for coming back, you guys. Nolarino's in the house. We have JT again. Thank you. I'm scrolling down. We're getting into the news, which is just a 5-6 minute news. You get a lot of news in 5 minutes as I rush through it to know what's going on. I appreciate that, Darla. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, it can also help the channel go up because we don't get real subscribers here, unfortunately. And if you subscribe, don't be insulted. I'm just saying that you'll notice the numbers go down. Notice you'll be unsubbed too. You won't get notifications if you click notifications. And for those that are members, if ever you're having problems getting the videos, a new guideline now is you have to click the bell. So if you're getting the member videos or you know where to go see them, you don't have to click the bell. Some people find the bell annoying. A bell, I never really even understood the use actually of the bell. I prefer a like and people that take the time to subscribe to help the channel grow. Nasheen Ali, thank you very much. What a nice name, Nasheen. Thank you very much for stopping by the channel. Hi from Quebec. Been listening and following for a while now. Chloe, I appreciate that. Joe Nasuno, greetings from shitty UK. People are so discouraged about things that are going on. It's the crazy stuff, eh? Yeah. What about the mayor in London, Sadiq Khan? What a prick. Sorry, couldn't help it. Thanks a lot, Chloe. Appreciate that. LA said I've been following UFO, etc. for decades. Bruce and Linda Moulton Howe and Dolan, Jimmy Church, and way back when David Wilcock, right on, and Carrie Cassidy. Yes, with Project Camelot. Carrie Cassidy, I had a chance to be interviewed by a very dear Carrie from Project Camelot way back in 2016 or 2017 when John Lear had spoken about my research and wanted me to be interviewed, and a lot of people started finding out about me, and then that's when everything went silent. Linda DeBoss, thank you very much. I like saying it like that. Linda DeBosi, probably, but I like Linda DeBoss. Also, when I had Facebook, I followed and always messaged back and forth with John Lear too, right on LA. Absolutely. Did many little projects with my friend John Lear. Imagine getting the chance to sit and talk to them about the moon with him. And then I got to know him. Christy Lindsay's in the house. Finally got Bluetooth to work. Yay. Nice to see you, Christy. Let's get into the news. Warden Eden, any news from India's lander? Un poquito, only a little bit. Let's go see an image. Let's go see that right now. An image from the lander. I'm just going to share. It's a 5-6 minute video. It's not long. It's interesting. Of all the clips, Jules, I love you for it. Thanks a lot, you guys. It's all real, Bruce. Right on. The game came out in 1995. Right. Yeah, it's all real for sure. And they know what's happening. Yeah, Chloe says the Book of Enoch makes Revelations look like a storybook. Right, you are. My brother too. He's got a couple of videos out on that for sure. I'm positive. That is very interesting. That's the interesting one. It's the most controversial one. It's the one that they talk about the aliens. They talk about entities, demons, and a whole bunch of people. That's the real story. That's what you want to read. Very interesting, for sure. Thanks again, Jules. Right. So I'll share and present that. So I'm going to share the screen so I can go with the video here. Thanks for coming in, everyone, and thanks for having checked out the short video this morning. I would have liked to have been on a little longer, but yeah, the pink lightning, I didn't want to burn a second computer because I would have been a long time down, that's for sure. So there we go. I'm sharing the screen. We're going to open up this very short news video, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things afterwards. A Harley, bring it. I wish I had one. Oh, it jams. Oh, and by the way, Bruce Hoffman has a little energy problem here, so you got to let things go by. Okay, well, I'll reclose it again, and then I'll go back in it. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. Let's try that again. It's not hard. There's a big play button, and you click it once, and it should start. There we go. Neil deGrasse Tyson on UFO claims we would know about it. I dislike him. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson pushed back on claims that the government is hiding information about UFOs and aliens from the American public. I get really upset when he talks about that, when he talks about anything space related. Get this, Canadian military attended recent Five Eyes forum on UFOs, say feds. Did you know that? Canada. The Canadian Armed Forces says the members of its military attended a recent Five Eyes forum headed by the Pentagon's director of its UFO research program focused on the issue of UAPs. The Department of National Defense, DND, told the Epoch Times by email on June 7th that the meeting, which took place in May, was informal. The department did not specify which members of the Canadian military attended. A DND spokesperson said that Sean Kirkpatrick, the director of U.S. Department of Defense All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW, gave a presentation on UAPs at the meeting with Canada and its Five Eyes allies. And they don't say who or what those Five Eyes allies are. Speaking of debris, this is recent news. Soviet satellite breaks apart in orbit. Again, guys, after space debris collision. Collision highlights a space junk problem that threatens our use of space. A 3-decade-old Soviet satellite has disintegrated in orbit 870 miles up. What do you think of that? Private company wants to clean up space. Speaking of debris, junk with capture bags in Earth orbit. TransAstra received an early stage NASA contract to address the fast-growing problem of space debris. NASA's latest space debris technology contract involves a bag that could one day snatch pieces flying in orbit. NASA recently awarded a space logistics startup called TransAstra $850,000 US early stage contract for a bag that could inflate after it flies into orbit. Not a space debris mission for flight, however, as the company will be tasked by testing this technology on the ground using inflatable balloons. No, maybe not balloons, but probably balloons. How humanity responds, by the way, to the first contact they're saying with intelligent alien life could determine the very fate of our species. In February, President Biden gave orders to shoot down 3 unidentified aerial phenomena, NASA's title for UFOs, UAPs. Then the alleged leaked footage from a Navy pilot of a UFO, and then news of a whistleblower's report, David Grush, on a possible U.S. government cover-up about UFO research. Most recently, an independent analysis published in June suggests that the UFOs might have been collected, that's right, by a clandestine agency of the U.S. government. Blue moon doesn't mean it's going to be blue. The last super blue moon, 2 moons in August, won't occur again, guys, till 2037. Rises tonight. How to see it? Look up. 2 moons, a rare super blue moon. It's going to bring a lot of dampness and moisture for sure. Real quickly, I'll be more on this later. NASA to demonstrate laser communications from space station. Pink lasers, right? It's invisible infrared lasers. So I could see it with an infrared, and so can you. Just like the laser beams. Do you guys remember? No, I'm sure no one remembers. Laser beams that I filmed in the sky with my infrared. Well, that's for quicker communication, quite simply. Guess what? Japan postpones Moon Sniper lift off for third time. Why? Because of weather, they say. India's Chandrayaan, who just recently landed, they say 3 moon rover Pragyan snaps first photo of its lander near the lunar South Pole. The Pragyan rover and the Vikrant lander are now about halfway through their mission, 2-week mission. Look at the image. That is the mother ship. Ouch. You can see Saturn snuggle up to the super blue moon tonight in the night sky. If you look in the center, you'll see in the big circle where the moon is, quite simply, Aquarius in the background. Over a bit higher, you will see Saturn there. And bad news, it's never a good evening when that happens. This one really interests me. Is this the last one? I think it is. Not too long. And very important one. Hackers shut down 2 of the world's most advanced telescopes, published 21 hours ago from right now, from today. It's unclear exactly what the nature of the cyber attacks were from where they originated. So you're looking at Gemini North. This is located in Mauna Kea. This is, yes, in Hawaii. Lots going on there right now, keep in mind. Gemini North is one half of the International Gemini Observatory, a program of National Science Foundation's Noir Lab, right? The image credit is International Gemini Observatory, blah, 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 blah. Some of the world's leading astronomical observations have reported cyber attacks that have resulted in temporary shutdowns. Don't forget, they shut one down in Puerto Rico, or is it Chile? Puerto Rico, the one that there was a damage, right? The thing fell and it broke it, and they went and dismantled it. They also got in communication and received a message from space. Is it a coincidence that that large telescope went down? Hackers shutting down large telescopes. Tell me about it. That's very interesting. So again, cyber attacks that have resulted in temporary shutdowns. The National Science Foundation's National Optical Infrared Astronomy Research Laboratory of Noir Lab reported a cyber security incident that occurred on August 1st. Think back, look back, what happened on August 1st in the war? What happened on August 1st in the news? What happened? That's not far after the July 26th UFO hearing, right? Why are they closing it down? Why is the Pentagon and the Defense Department trying to silence the whistleblowers? It's very concerning. One has prompted the lab to temporarily halt operations at its Gemini North telescope in Hawaii and Gemini South telescope in Chile. Other smaller telescopes on Cerro Tololo in Chile were also affected. Makes me laugh. It's really bright and sunny outside, but now it's like a little hail and it's raining a little bit. You feel the wind. So yeah, that is recent news where I've been scrummaging through the news and recent news. That's basically news from maximum 12, 15 hours ago and very recently, a couple of hours ago. So we'll stop sharing that. And we'll talk amongst ourselves. Where is everyone? There we are. There we are. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming in. Anika, thank you so much. Mr. Super Dave 44 is in the house. You guys head on over to Super Dave and give him a big hello. My friend Super Dave. Are you getting uncombed today? You're not anywhere near those bloody storms, I hope. Thanks a lot, you guys. Is it someone's birthday? Is it someone's birthday? I am Kai. Is he here? How's it going? Oh, August 1st, my birthday. Well, LA, happy belated birthday. What's the time? 6:08. Good. I'm up. Okay. Steve's. Kenny. Hello, Bruce. J'ai pas oublié mon. Merci beaucoup, Steve's Kenny. Bien apprécié, mon frère. Thanks a lot, brother. Right on, Star Hunter. Johnny Five, how's it going, my man? It's coming. It's been here now for quite a while, along with its son and sisters. Oh yeah, everything that's out there has been there probably forever, like way before our time of being here, and it's just a matter of time before they pass by, or have to pass by, or want to pass by. Some big stuff going on. That the calm before the storm. It's just going to be a big storm, so there's going to be a big calm. Right now, we're in the eye of the storm, Stephen A. Feel like there's nothing going on around us, but sky's blue for right now. But wait till we hit the wall. Once we hit the wall, we don't need no. After 5 time to leave the office, y'all have a great night, and remember to manifest your dreams tonight with the big blue moon. Just another sleigh day. Right on. Hardworking friends. Thanks a lot. I promise you, guys and gals, I'll be outside tonight. Oh, fingers crossed. You know me. If I don't get any, it's because it was cloudy. I think I'm going to have a chance to see it. Why? I have no idea, because it's like raining right now, and it's been very cloudy. But actually, that's why. Sometimes it rains so bloody much in the day. At night, it changes drastically. Can change really quickly. But that'll depend what's going to happen with Franklin. We'll be getting winds and 3 days of very hot weather. I can only imagine in the upcoming days, couple days, we should start to see the sun reacting also. Hey, Mr. I am Kai. Ludwig, salut. Normandie te voit et t'entend. Merci, impeccable. Ludwig, merci mon ami. My pleasure, LA. Always nice seeing you here. Thanks again for stopping by. Oh, Rod R's birthday tomorrow. That I didn't know. Anika, thanks again, eh? Thank you very much. Rod R, happy birthday. I'll give you a shout out tomorrow. The hell is that? Sounds like there's rocks falling from the sky. Right on. Donovan's here. Wait till the shit hits the fan. Hey, yes. And listen, what happens, it hit the fan, but it's so damn sticky that the fan is at maximum speed and the crap's still just sliding to the end of the pallet and is about to fly off in every which direction. I've been saying that with Kai for months, but honestly, it keeps getting more intense. It's like waterboarding, or no, it's just like water drop, water drop on your head every 6-7 seconds, 3 seconds. You guys want to send me something? That is the place to send it. Bruce, have you ever seen anything that resemble the Black Knight satellite? Oh yes, Johnny Five, and I got the videos to prove it too. Dark triangle at very, very high rates of speed. It always surprised me that I show a big ass triangle on top of it, very clear. I saw these dark triangle moving sideways at a very high rate of speed, and got about 1,000 to 1,200 views, maybe 2,000 by now. But I have seen that. And as for the Dark Knight, guys, I'm up to 3, maybe even 6 objects. Some of you must remember the beautiful asteroids. Last year, 2021, 2022, the asteroids flying by the sun was crazy. It was one every 2 weeks. And in the news, it coincided. They talk about debris. They talk about all the asteroids that were coming by Earth, even some comets. Oumuamua, apparently an alien extraterrestrial vehicle. Why do you think they're waiting to talk about all this stuff? Talking about some of them in the government, talking about these beings being demons or angels. And I'm telling you, the story runs really deep. Be the arrow. Thank you very much. Yeah, scary stuff. That could very well be Stephen A. Thanks, Stephen A. Yeah, it's an amazing video. Amazing video. Like pulling it out every week or so. and putting it in the videos. Hey, thanks, Johnny Five. Appreciate that. Yeah, the subs stopped like in February. It's fake subscribers that subscribe and some real, of course. Don't be insulted, right? But you'll see the numbers if you're always subscribing, or if you're subscribing and you notice that the numbers are always going down. That's always been. Yes, Carla, right you are. I hope we see what it is they don't want us to see with you, Bruce. Thank you for your great work. Thank you, Carla, for the kind words. Love you for it. Avilob, yes, Avilob, Loeb, yes, our astrophysicist professor from Harvard, who spoken recently and even a couple of hours ago. Again, they were talking about it. He's the one that was talking about many years ago, actually 2005 or 2008 or something like that. Something crashed into the ocean, and the Pacific Ocean, right? And when the object crashed in the ocean, they're retrieving it with magnets, and these little spherules are tiny, tiny, microscopic, that they were able to retrieve at the bottom of the ocean. That they say that it's absolutely alien and or extraterrestrial. It's got yellows and blues and colors all over it. He says aliens absolutely exist, and that's a proof. But those objects that he brought up, those balls, those spherules, are outside of this universe, right? It's into and past probably interstellar space. So Avi Loeb, the Harvard astrophysicist professor, who's been talking about, he wrote books also, from maybe one book. I don't know how many books he wrote, but he wrote a lot of books on the topic. Sorry. How was you missed? Chat is loaded with them. Trolls. Hey, Mr. His Highness. How's it going, brother? No recent tornadoes in Ottawa? Yeah, the spherules, balls. I heard about that ocean object that hit the Pacific. Absolutely. So they went down to retrieve it, and apparently, Johnny Five, it's only a couple of those little balls that they're able to bring back up, and it's still not from this solar system. Any material in that, and you see, it's not for nothing. They're looking for a material to make spaceships. They need a material that is not heavy, but they need a material that's not heavy, that's very strong. The Pentagon got caught doing secret projects with secret private associations or people, whether groups or people, personal people, doing these projects, teleportation, propulsion systems on the moon. They wanted to nuke the moon and make a hole to travel back in time. And some people are going to say, no, I'm pretty sure. I bet you most of you will probably say, I'm sure the Pentagon didn't do that. Yep, the blackvault.com, due to the Freedom of Information Act, Americans and the public, civilians, regular amateurs like you and I, but Americans can have classified video, sometimes declassified. Sometimes it takes a year and a half. Sometimes it takes 3 years. And sometimes it costs a couple of bucks to be able to do so, as the Black Vault, the Greenwald or Griswold. I always mix up with Chevy Chase, National Lampoon's Vacation with the name. I saw a TR-3B pass just above me, above my head in 2013 on the 2nd of September. It's vibrationally impressive. An experience that changes the comprehension of people. Absolument, Ludwig. Merci de partager ça. What time is it? 6:18. 6:18. You guys are enduring me. I'm proud. So proud of you all for enduring me. Bruce is all. What was that moon wave a few years ago? A couple years ago, or not a few years ago, right? 2 years ago, the double lunar wave that I got in 2022. You mean? That is the exact same thing as what our friend Crow got 13 years ago on the moon. I caught a double lunar wave. I caught three other ones that were less strong than that. And people say, don't mix that up with the oscillation that's on the moon. It's not at all the same. That is one wave that's not even jittery. It's one straight line, like when you drop something in the water, a stone in the water, and that circle that goes outwards before the water starts refracting and reflecting, right? You'll see a calm river, you drop. They do a comparison. Scientists do that comparison with the Big Bang, you know, quiet universe, no movement. And then you have, boom, the Big Bang. Then you have that outward circle of energy. And then all of a sudden it bounces off every wall of fabric of space and time. It creates all the magnetic currents. That impressed me, You can't build a spaceship that goes faster than the speed of light that's in this universe. But the speed of light is not the same in other universes, and probably not even around Neptune, around Mars, around Mercury, around Venus, around Pluto. It's all going to be different depending on the temperatures, depending on the um, everything. Barometric pressure is what meteorologists say that uh, gravity pulls down the wind, right? The air, because air has weight, so does light. It does. It really does have a reaction, being pulled down, and storms get bigger. What happens if all of a sudden they create low barometric pressure? Well, duh, that's what the Southern Pole it can do. I'm not saying they are, but they can. That's been proven on top of it. Thanks, Anika. Yeah, it is amazing. Like I said, being there every time I can on the moon to see if I see something. I got a little bit of a lunar wave. The last video, actually, it's in there. You guys, nobody noticed it. It's a very, very subtle. You could hardly see it. You could hardly see it, and it goes by, and you have that one line, and then, which freaks me out because it looks just like that UFO that when they take off, right? When they quasi project themselves and they bend space and time, that everything goes whoop, like a bubble, like a mirror in the cartoons, right? When it distorts everything. And you can see that. Still raining. Raining on here like rocks falling. I'm getting annoyed with that. You mentioned it for this month of August. Thank you. Okay, Ange Mist says, Angel Mist, have we talked about there being two full moons in 1 month? Yes, I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. And if you weren't there, that's what they call the blue moon. And in August, there are two moons, and the perigee, apogee, whether it's close or far, they're close. So it's a very big moon. It's a super moon, and it's a super blue moon because, like the expression once in a blue moon, quite simply, there's not two moons per month, but in August there is. And the moon is not blue at all. Tri Lambda Delta. Kappa Kappa Gamma here. Reminds me of my university days. I did not go to university. How's it going? The faster you approach the speed of light, the lower your tight denier gets. Then they rip. Yes, I believe it. I absolutely believe it. That's why I would not go to space wearing spandex. That's why all the astronauts come back with white towels on them. Where are their pants? There are large objects in our solar system. And if I say I confirm it, I'm confirming what they say is a fact, whether it's true or not. Close to 10 objects. One close, just a little bit beyond Pluto, which is still in the solar system, but on the outskirts of the solar system. Big planetoid-like object, very big. And these objects are sitting there in geostationary orbit, maybe around certain exoplanets or around certain stars. They found whole lots of stuff, some exoplanets that should not even exist either. So they're going to be rewriting science, basically. Yes, LA, that's also something that NASA themselves have even confirmed that there is something, and many scientists, there is something behind the sun. Yeah, Voyager 1 and 2 probe a long time ago when they were put out there, where they sent out a probe, which is they both Voyager 1 and 2 has reached past, not past, but inside of interstellar space. And they located an object that is sending back pulses. So they did pick up something that's sending back a pulse that seems not to be a natural pulse, or like from a quasar or a fast radio burst, because they're just in the beginning of time of understanding these fast radio bursts. For me, it's scaring me, like CERN smashing subatomic particles 680,000 times per second, and they're taking images and pictures of that, and each time they take a snapshot every second, right, like sorry, 680,000 times every second. They're storing all that information where? Where are they storing that information? Storing it on the computer, right? CERN's going to blow up at one point, pretty sure. Yeah, it's going to be one heck of a supermoon, His Highness. Wish me luck. Still raining. I don't think we're going to get any supermoon, but maybe we will. But that's what happens with the supermoon. It brings a lot of humidity and water. Notice there's no overweight aliens. Yeah, apparently not. That's a little scary too, eh? And that's why I started fasting, because they told me they couldn't bring me up anymore. The spacecrafts don't, when they quasi project, they remain stuck between the fabrics of space and time. Gives us these headaches, and we bounce. We just bounce and shake and vibrate in place, and we don't cross over. So they say basically fatso. That, and I don't fit in an astronaut suit. Like, you imagine an alien lending me an astronaut suit? I don't think I'm going to fit in it. Definitely not going to fit in it. Yes, the warning of blackouts for East Coast. Right on, Stephen A. Donovan, the mothership. Do they exist, you think? Yeah, the mothership on the moon. That's what they call it. But I wonder if there are any motherships out there. I would think there are. I would say there are alien ones, but they're further away. So when they quasi project themselves, in essence, that's why we had heard Stephen Greer talking way back, like in essence. Notice there's no overweight aliens. That was a good one. The wind's picking up. How do aliens pee? Sorry, the shake was a little rude, but I hope you've heard of Morgan Mindy, and that's why I was doing that. How do aliens pee? Do they pee through their noses? Do they pee through their butts? Do they pee through their peckers? They don't have any peckers. I think that they sit in fruit juices and to get hydrated, and gelatins and gels and cold gels. They just sit there and bathe and relax. I don't think they really drink. Like, I mean, you got to wonder if they no way to relieve themselves. What the hell? Like, what's happening? Are they all anorexic? Do they all eat and puke after? Over the years, I've come up with some silly for fun theories. I know we've had a lot of fun here, haven't we? Haven't we had fun here, Darla? Teresa McLaren, thanks for coming back as always. Sending love and light. Thank you so much. Love you, sister. Brother from Glasgow, very beautiful Glasgow, Scotland. Thank you very much. Right on, I am Kai. Thanks for being here, buddy. Vern is not going to end well. Oh, Vern. Do you know Vern, that guy with the rubber boot on his head that wants to give everyone a unicorn? Free unicorns and stuff? I know you were talking about, sorry. I saw Vern. It reminded me of Vern. Ever hear of that guy, Johnny Five? It's called Vern. He's got a boot on his head that folds over. It's totally funny. Yeah, the Hadron Collider, horrible. And also we got HARP. We got HARP also, right? Hey, dude, I do it all the time. It's not you either, eh? It's the damn autocorrect they jump on these other words, and sometimes, quite a few times, man, I've insulted some people. What was it the other day? What did I write? Bro, was it you? I don't think so. But was Myrtle Beach? Somebody, no, Wasaga Beach. Somebody talked to me about Wasaga Beach. I said, wow, beautiful beach. So I write, what a beautiful beach. Heard of it, been there, done that. You know, what I wanted to answer. And it wrote, what a bio wasted beach. Dude, I didn't see it until hours after. And here, a community member said, Bruce, I'm positive that you made a mistake answering somebody, and it didn't sound too polite answering someone like that, but it's the damn autocorrect always causing me problems. Want to hear the tune on the guitar? What could I play? You guys got to go to the music channel. The music channel. I play my ass off on the music channel, but I'm honestly um, touched that you all asked. So I appreciate that for actually enduring me playing the guitar. Learned a little bit of, not a little bit, in the blues. All the time I was down, I learned, what the hell was that? I learned the blues pentatonics, blues A pentatonics. I in E again, as I've always played in E, basically the blues, but I learned in A minor, and to change, it's always learning a new note, a new note, a new note. Sometimes it's the same notes, but they're interchanged or mixed up, and yeah. Try Lambda Delta. Thanks for asking. I will one day. Supermoon brings a lot of crazy nutcase. It does. Donovan, when I used to drive the school buses, no comment on the medical buses. Yeah. When I used to drive these school buses on the full moon, it was forget the lunches. It was crying. Kids were late. Kids were fighting. The kindergartens were crying. The secondary fives were crying, complaining in a pissy mood, fighting in the bus. And I'm like, guys, what the heck? It's like because of the moon, right? I think it was 3 days without saying what the hell. After 3 days, like, calm your asses down. These guys, this is like on a war field. I thought I was going to be their best friends going into the bus. I said, I'm going to do everything perfectly. I'm going to leave them I'm going to be independent, let them do their thing on the bus. I won't be looking back, watching them. 2 hours after one tried to set a fire, that was it. Pulled over the bus, went to the back, sit in front. So my best way of retaliating, and no gum in my hair on top of it. I was very lucky. I didn't check my bus must have been full of torn benches and stuff, because you're responsible for that when you're a bus driver. You have to check your benches every day. It was so stupid on the road. The new laws in Quebec since freak face Trudeau's been in, where when we do an inspection, they're stopping us often on the road. Take out your logbook. You have to show them your logbook. They ask you, how many hours you're working, how many hours do you sleep or whatever, and then they make you do a whole, um, run around on the bus, the motor inspection and everything. The tires, you go and show them the axe in the back, and you go, you're so underpaid. I had 13, 14 bucks Canadian an hour to be driving the bus. And I had one of the biggest bus runs, a long bus run. I was doing several schools, English and French schools. It was still just ridiculous. They don't want to pay people, especially not for driving the buses. What does it mean? Watch the waters. Death threat. No. Well, watch the waters is an expression also. Like watch your surroundings, and be prepared for something to happen. Watch the waters, expect something. Where is the moon? In space, space, space. I told everyone. Somebody told me, I want to go to space, Bruce, to see what it feels like. I said, where do you think Earth is? Sitting in space. Look up. Space is bright. It's not dark. When you go up into space, the darkness that you see is something else. It's that crossing through, I believe. But once you cross through the barriers, right? Hey, do you know when they found that bloody Kuiper belt? Do you know it's in the 90s? Hasn't been very long. They found that. One guy was telling me how they found that back in the 1900s. No, 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 no. They did not. They did not actually. CERN's playing with something that should be left alone. Yeah, playing with dark energy, very dark energy, some very malevolent, bad dark energy, all because they want the power. Basically, without exaggerating, I think they're trying to bring back Satan from the abyss, right? Something like that, literally. Wish the truth will just come out. Truth, LA, my dear friend, I promise you, the truth will come out. I can't promise you won't be 80 years old or you won't be 70 years old or I don't think so though. I think it's going to happen pretty fast. Julia XOXO, what did I read that one. Sorry about that. Yeah, Rod R, they're definitely playing with it. Thanks a lot, Julia. XOXO. The motherships are all over SDO and Soho. Oh, yes, yes, absolutely. And they're all around Earth, So alien or something alien is scrambling the data that reaches Earth from probes and the satellites around Earth. So they're going to start gathering up debris. So these are, eventually these are things that we're going to start being able to see with the telescopes. There's the platform that they want to put several platforms up between Earth and the moon. That makes a lot of sense to go store equipment and fuel or anything, food probably, whatever it's going to be going up to the ISS space station. They're going to be testing lasers, right? They're going to be testing lasers for reasons of having quicker data transferring, more images, more video, better quality, and a faster pace. Something scrambling the communications with them. And as a matter of fact, there has even been some nuclear facilities that were deactivated. And they're talking about this very little, but it happened. It happened. So there's a lot of crap going on. Why are they on hold? The Pentagon's going to have no choice to talk. Representative for Tennessee, state of Tennessee, Tim Burchett, love the guy. I think he's legitimate. He said, enough is enough. Dog gammit. That's what he says. And he's a good guy. He wants to bring out the truth. Don't forget, it's real because there's more people higher up that want to bring out the truth too. It's not the little whistleblowers on the bottom that don't even get their testimonies heard. How many pilots have been threatened after? That's the goal, is to, threaten them or to make them stop from bringing that certain truth out. I'm a newbie. Forgot who recommended this channel. It's a great one. Julia, that I love you for it. That means so much. And I tell you, we have a lot of fun here. We do have a real community. And mark my words, yes, it is, Darla. That's what the governments are saying. The scientists, anyways, are saying that. Maybe not the governments. Governments are keeping things pretty hush hush. And Julia, I have some incredible UFO videos on the moon and other things. People always think, Bruce's old videos, those UFOs that I caught leaving the surface, and the one that I caught down in my yard, like 20 feet, 15 feet from me, those are all things that are just, the videos are sitting there floating. There's big channels are not picking it up at all, which you got to say, if big channels aren't picking it up, it's because they're fake. Somewhere along the line, they're fake. Try Lambda Delta says, I know how aliens pee standing up. I hope they don't pee backwards. Yeah. So they say the Roswell alien does not have any genitalia. But in the Roswell video, the autopsy, I don't know. That looked like a pregnant alien girl being. Why did I say that? Well, because of the hips, the womanly hips. Honestly, and listen, straight up in the autopsy, I thought I saw a vagina. I was going to say female vagina, but I don't really need to indicate that. Maybe for some, but for me, there's just two G's, gents. But anyways, yeah, what I thought was a slit or lips um, between the legs of that alien at the autopsy. It looked like a female from what I looked like, you know. And if you go back and look at that, yeah, I was staring there. As weird as it sounds, I was literally staring there, trying to see if there was no genitalia. And I also noticed something else. There's no mention of their six fingers, but they did have six fingers. There's talk of them having ugh, suction cups on their fingers, right? So what is that for? Is that like Spock's Vulcan? Remember what he used to do with his? Remember Spock? Anyways, Star Trek. Hey, thank you so much, Christy. I love you so much. I hope everything's doing. I hope everything's going okay, doing well. I have to get on a Patreon. I'm so happy to be back. It sucks the weather and stuff, but anyways, thanks for your patience, for always sticking around at the same time. Yeah, that was a funny one. Hope they don't pee by their mouths. Bruce, you're gross. Thanks a lot, Darla. Always welcome. We don't get enough newbies here, Darla. Punctured ball. I'm in the UK, and wow, the moon is gorgeous. Well, if you confirm that you're seeing it, I would confirm that I'm not going to see it. As a matter of fact, let's see here. Tri Lambda Delta, you're making me want to play the guitar. Why do you do that to me? The moon's at 89.61%, so it's not the supermoon this evening. Not here. Not for me. But for some of you in the world, it is. New Zealand, probably 2 days ago. It's a little hard to understand, isn't it? Moon is currently located in the constellation of Pisces, and this evening it will be in front of Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. You'll see just off to the right Saturn over the top right. Moonrise. Oh, I forgot to write Montreal. Oh, no, I did write Montreal. What's going on? There we go. So let's see. Oh, boy. Oh, well, so the moonrise here in Montreal will be at 7:51 Eastern time. Then it comes up over the horizon. And if it's a long stretch or a short stretch, some people don't know. Some people think that the moon, which is normal, I wouldn't laugh at them. It's absolutely normal. What the hell's going on here? The moon goes up at different times all the time. It's always shifting over, always in a different position. Every time you see the moon, mark do this. This is a fun test. Every time you perceive it, no matter what height it's at, even if it's high up in the sky, try to see what it's aligned with. Try to see where it's coming up, and you'll see that bugger jump around. And during the year, it goes all the way around where it's northeast, really trying to head north, and because it's 99.9% full moon, so we're almost there actually. 99.9, so it could very well be tonight at midnight, the full moon, as they say. Yes, you saw Vernon. Vernon, it wasn't Vern, sorry. No, listen, yes, I agree with you. It's definitely autocorrect. It happens to me all the time. God love and leave you all. Have a beautiful day. And Penny, thank you very much. Oh, we missed her. Sorry about that. I blame my dog when I fart also. Exactly. Had Ron. Had Ron over for dinner yesterday, and then I had Ron drive me over to the. I was out of my mind. No, I was out on my front porch, which looked over the pool, which looked over the water to the VAB building, the VAB building. Bruce, what the hell's wrong with you? It came up from behind me. I was on the second. It was about 100 feet above me. No sound, of course, right? That's always the scary thing. No sound. So basically, guys, I think can we agree? I bet you 95% of everyone in the world probably has seen UFOs. I get some people that come here that have not seen it, but I'm telling you, it's very, very rare. I want to thank everyone for having stopped by tonight, too. Good night to you, Anika. I love you. Thanks a lot, you guys, for the incredible support here. Thanks for sticking around. And again, sorry for that gap. I was gone for 3 weeks. The videos are long to do, as a lot of you know, because some of you make videos too. And when you take the time to see a video that you appreciate, leave me a comment or give me a thumbs up, or just quite simply come back again another day to see if I make another video once a week, once a month, once a day, once an hour. Those of you that want to binge, always welcome, of course. Stephen A., I love you for that, man. Thank you very much. A hobby channel, Bruce's Music. I have a lot of fun over there. And I make some songs, some first attempts at some popular songs, even Anthony Oliver's song recently. I do little short clips sometimes, so you can check it out. The Blues. Exactly. I've been practicing a lot, trying to fiddle my fingers around. It takes a lot of practice, I'm telling you. But the Bruce's Music channel is the place to go. So, by the way, Jason, in 14 minutes, he's going to be 15 minutes, going to be starting a stream on Revelations. Whether you agree or disagree with him, don't hide. Let him know if you disagree with him. Let him know if you agree with him. He loves debating with actual competent people, and it's not nubby people. But anyways, I never heard a thing until it was above my head, and I caught it with the corner of my eye. It was the size of a professional football. Wow. Well, that's often the size that's indicated that people see them up. Me, for one, I've never had the lucky chance like you to see a spacecraft as big as a professional football. Oh, as big as a professional football and not a professional football field. Wow. Okay. So you too saw something small. That makes a hell of a lot of sense too, whether it's orb size or whatnot. Yeah, that's it, man. It's basically the size of the object, drone or not, alien, human or not, China, Russia, extraterrestrial. They exist. Yes, Ann Penny. Thank you so much. Try not to blow another 50 amp fuse. I'll try. And now, now it's so small, the amp, man. It's as big as like a pack of cigarettes. It's just a Focusrite machine. And basically, just the free filters I'm using, you get a whole bunch of different amplifiers. You can record some incredible music. Like I'm going to do a lot with this. I'm going to be making my own music to put in the moon videos. Some really subliminal, cool, not satanic subliminal, like I mean, woo, 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 like dolphiny sort of thing, and not. Anyways, Crypto Beehive. What do you think of ITER? And if it works well, will it change everything? Be more specific, please. ITER. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Sorry about that. Poor you waits an hour for me to respond, and I tell him that. I'm sorry. Yes, 54 kids, and wasn't supposed to, sometimes 56, 58. That's a lot of kids. Do you know what age, Donovan, that I was traveling around? 4 years old, pre-kindergarten, new year that started. It was just like I was their father. I could not drive like more than like 70, 80 kilometers an hour in a 90 zone because I was just so freaked out with the young kids walking around, standing up in their benches. I had to tell them to sit down. I mean, kids are a little innocent, honestly, the generations. You know, the people that were in secondary 5 when I was driving the bus had they had Walt Disney shirts, you know, Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse shirts. They had Pokemon school bags, and like 16, 17 years old. I couldn't believe it. Back in the days when we started in grade 7, it was like for me back in my time, it was like, you know, everyone was I think it was a law we had to dress like either Metallica or, you know, yeah, the girls used to crepe their hair, pull their hair down with spray nets. They used to make a big airbag. That's why there were no airbags in the cars back in the 90s. There was no need for them. There was never a woman that was killed back in the 90s because of the big hair go through the windshield protection. Anyways, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Rose Cullum, thanks for coming back as always. Thanks, Rose. Just got here. What I miss? Well, you missed that they're not talking about UFOs. They're going to be trying to catch space debris with a type of bag they're going to be sending in space. You got Russia and China going to take over the moon, space race. Satellites are very expensive. That's what they say. They're having problems with satellites. And eventually, guys, they're going to make the satellites smaller and smaller and smaller. But I'm really excited for the UFO news that's going to come out. I assure you that this is going to be out of this friggin' world, guys, because they can't just pretend that there's no secret projects. They have alien craft. And you know what? Many different types of alien craft. So what do you think is going to happen after with Bob Lazar? Then people are going to reference him again and say it was actually true. And maybe Bob Lazar, who knows? Like I was hoping for Bob Lazar to be one of the whistleblowers on July 26th, but maybe, I don't know. Richard, space stuff. Thank you so much, man. My favorite video of yours was one many years ago. You caught a fleet of UFO going across the face of the moon. I'll never forget it. That's my famous one that I bring back from time to time, often enough, and show them really close up. But remember, thanks, Richard. Thanks, man. Do you remember that when I showed them, I didn't know they were leaving the surface. I thought they were just flying by. Then we start seeing an interaction with the surface. And, you know, I don't make the shit up. So I'd love catching that group of UFOs again. That was extremely unique. 218, first time, 218 that I had ever witnessed that. Thanks a lot, man, for believing in the research and appreciating it. ITER. Yeah, I'm not sure. Intelligent trannies executing role playing. Intelligent trannies executing role play. Chill out, says LA. I'm chill. I'm totally chill. Saying that, and the wind's hitting. Yeah. People don't know how to handle themselves anymore with all the frequencies around. That is scary stuff. It is scary. And imagine some people that are sensitive with having seizures or, you know, autism or ADHD or someone. I mean, you don't have to have ADHD to have an attention deficit disorder. I'm telling you. Ever happened that you're talking to someone on the phone and you're talking about the story, you're getting into it and you completely forget what you're doing? If you say no, well, I don't believe you. And if so, well, lucky you and I'm a dumb. That's happened to me many a times. It's an actual truth that people that are smart and that think a lot are like that. Look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Okay. Um, uh, not because he's dumb at all. It's because he's He has 6 answers. Every question somebody asks him, he's got 6 answers to it. So he runs between those questions, and you can tell somebody that's very smart will have some of those twitches. You have a professor at school used to go, uh, uh, "Do you know what the question is, Bruce?" And he'd go like that. It was smart as a whip. The guy was that, or maybe he had Tourette's. I'm not sure. Of course, I would know to go grab my phone and record that, but I just stood. Yeah, no, that's a normal reaction. You're not going to go get it. You're not going to leave because you know that you're going to miss it, and maybe the time your brain reacts, and it's always moving and changing places. You're sitting there looking at that, and I was lucky to have the infrared. I did run in to get my infrared, but unfortunately, for 30 seconds to 45 seconds, I missed what the hell it was doing outside. And it came like a bat out of hell from nowhere. And it was a giant wad of water, like this, just like an aquarium that you're walking with an aquarium, and you start going left and right with it, and the water is starting to splash and go like this together and go up and down. It was red like Kool-Aid. Oh yeah, just literally moving around. I'm not kidding. And it came down from the sky. It turned bright orange, and then a spherical rays started. These spherical, lined rays, just a ray like from the sun, started coming out from all around it. And in the center, you could see that square going from octagonal to circular to square to almost triangular. And you could see through it. People laughing at me. Bruce says it's a spacecraft, and it's a UAP that's transparent, translucent. They talked about it. They talked about the translucent UFOs. As a matter of fact, they said the translucent ones were human. But again, take that with a grain of salt also. 5 minutes left here, my friends. And changing moods every 5 minutes. Yeah, that's me. Under the seats of buses has to be one of the grossest things alive. Yes. No, mine, it'd be surprised. Listen, I was lucky. My buses are from you guys down there in the States. Philadelphia, Bluebird Bus Company. Buggers don't know how to put heaters in, that's for sure, because I guess it's not very cold down there or up there. But when we get the buses with the little piece of crap heater fan there, boy, we freeze our asses off with that in the winter. I have a flat nose bus. I had a Bluebird flat nose bus. Loved it. And it was just like when I took my course with the big buses. I also tried the buses with the trailer. I tried all size of driving vehicles on the road, including security vehicles. I had the fire truck license, the ambulance license, the taxi license. And then when you get that, it doesn't mean you can turn around and jump in the taxi. Then you pay the license, like to be a taxi driver, like 20,000-30,000 bucks. That's what you got to do. Ladies and gents, I love you all for having come by the channel here, for making this channel what it is. And thanks, Space Stuff, Christy, and everyone at the same time. Anika, my friend, Super Dave. I love you guys. Christy, my friend from Astor, Florida. Thanks so much for making this channel what it is. Don't stop coming by. I will not stop the videos. Cross your fingers that I will get the moon tonight. I'm going right now to charge up the battery to prepare the infrared camera also. Johnny 5, thanks, man. Have you ever used Psionics Pro? No, but I looked it up. Bro. Let me know. Do let us know, everyone know here, how the Psionics Pro, how you found that. I'm familiar with the device, very familiar. This sounds like a good device too. Do let us know how you're able to manage with that, and be looking for laser lights too. We're going to see some new phenomena. The tricky buggers are doing some stuff out there in the sky. So 2 minutes, you guys can head over to Jason John Swartz's channel. The link probably somewhere here, and I'm going to look for it because I want to share it with y'all. Thanks again, Space Stuff. Where are they putting the trash? And after collecting it, will they bring back contamination? So, hey, Rose Cullum, that is a very good one. And unfortunately, they don't even talk about that. Do you know that they throw junk in space, like old devices and apparatus? And I have no idea why they do that. They did it very recently, not too long ago. Let go a tarp and stuff like that. I have no idea. They have to be deliberately doing that, I think. Bruce, I never noticed until recently that there is a constellation that looks a lot like a W. Oh, yes, there is. It's north. Do you know what that is? It's more like the glick, glick, glick. It would be, I have no idea. I'd have to go back and find out. I know Draco also looks a bit like a W at one point, and I'm not sure which one is like the W. Gemini, no, in the north. I have to double check. That one's a good question. That was a good question. 7 o'clock. You guys can head over to Jason John Swartz's channel to watch that right there, my friends. Chapter 1 of Revelation, if ever you're curious. Go listen to 5 minutes. You don't have to stay 10 minutes, or maybe you want to listen to it twice. It depends on how you feel. I can always listen to Revelation. I always hear something new. Timmins, Ontario, LA. Right on. Come on, people suffer in Northern Ontario, Canada. Everyone's suffering. Bruce, I want to go get the Psionics Pro full color IR full spectrum camera. Have you ever experienced that camera? Not personally. I looked up the reviews. I looked up the specs. I say go for it. Very interesting, and I do want you to keep me posted too. I'm off. UFO arrival and departure times are timed to the new and full moons, as I understand. Absolutely. The launch window. At the same time, Rich from Astor, Florida, when I caught the one that you like a few years ago, in 218, that was caught in the middle of the afternoon. I was filming the moon and I didn't see that. So get this, 218, I filmed it. Sorry, 218, I filmed it. And it took me till the end of 218, beginning of 219 to have seen it in my footage, because I didn't even see it until I slowed down the footage. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Thanks for the generous contributions. Thanks for liking the videos. Take the time to subscribe if you like the research, and I'll see you all on the flipsoid. Be watching for the next video. Love you guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks, mods, members, contributions, and for all of you, take time to come by and check out the videos. Bye for now.